He hails out of Antioch, California, and he races in the Friesen Performance IMC Northern Sport Mod Division. We're going to talk to Mark Garner about his incredible story of how his father was the patriarch of the Garner family racing, as well as racing with his son, winning with his son, and much more. That's coming up next on the Beyond the Flags podcast. But before we get to the interview, make sure wherever you're listening or watching from, you hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes. Well, we're back here with the Beyond the Flags podcast. My next guest hails from Antioch, California. He competes in the Friesen Performance IMC Northern Sport Mods, the 76 entry. Mark Garner. Mark, it's great to have you here. 2024, you guys have went to a lot of different racetracks this season and have been rather successful so far in the current campaign, and things seem to be looking up for the 76 team.
This year's been kind of we didn't know what we were going to do at the beginning of the year, and we decided we're gonna shoot for the state title, and we ran the first 7 races, and we did pretty well. And I got other things I want to do except for race every weekend, so we decided to pull out of that. I think we're still sitting second in the state points, and yeah, we're having a good time this year.
So last year I had you down for 13 starts. You were perfect when it came to top 10s, 13 top 10s. 3 podiums and 9 top 5s, and a lot of racing, obviously, at Antioch, and a lot of racing I saw at Marysville. This year, you've got 1 win, you've got 6 podiums, 7 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 9 starts, so almost eclipsing those 2023 numbers.
Yeah, our program has changed a lot this year. But we kind of regrouped this winter and just kind of buckled down on what we were going to do for setup with my son and Chester Niss, GRT by 19K. He's kind of came on board. We kind of got the chassis through him and his dad and Keith Brown Jr. So we're kind of playing the year as we go right now. We don't know where we're going to go next, and we're having a good time.
Hey, that's the beauty about life sometimes. You don't know where it's headed, but as long as you're above ground and you're feeling good, it's all downhill from there, right?
Absolutely. Last year was kind of I'm not going to say a struggle. We did pretty well last year. My son was racing. He got crashed out in Watsonville. Kind of a racing deal right there. He totaled his car. He's got a new 2018 GRT that we're building right now for him. I was ready to hang things up last year. I hadn't won in a couple years and kind of getting frustrated. And, then we go out to the Billy Bowers Memorial, and we ended up winning on the Saturday. And that was a huge race for us. That was kind of the turning point for me not to sell everything and keep racing. And then we pull off a win last week at Marysville. We're having fun right now. And that's what it's all about, having fun and hanging out with good people. And it's been a good time so far.
Well, I was going to say, that win at Marysville was like the breakthrough that you'd been searching for some time, because the night before at Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, had a fast race car, got caught up in an unfortunate incident, and would have been easy to just bow out for the rest of the weekend, but you guys circled the wagons, and then here comes Marysville. You guys ran a great race and was lightning quick there.
We had a good car. We had a good car Friday night. Circumstances. I mean, I'm not going to say it's part of racing because it's not. The way it happened, it wasn't a good deal. You live and learn. I mean, you know who you can race with and who you can't race with. And, I hate looking over my shoulder going in a corner to see who's next to me to see if they're going to take me out or they're going to run me clean. And so far, every race that we've ran, it's been pretty awesome except for Chico. And that was kind of a downfall. And we were going to hang it up on Saturday and not run Marysville. And I called my sons. They were at home, and they came out Saturday morning. We worked on the car from 9 o'clock Saturday morning until 2:30, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and we got it as close as we can get it. And a couple phone calls to Buddy, and my son's just changing things and making the car better for me and how I drive, and it seemed to work out pretty good.
Well, let's talk about your origin story, where everything started with you in racing. I first remember seeing you. I'm pretty sure you were running sport mods in 2020. That's when I came down to Antioch a lot. Chad and Tina were really besides Antioch and Marysville, they were the only places really running consistently there for the longest time. I remember seeing you there, saw you a lot at some of the specials at Merced, but I know that prior to that, you had a lot of racing experience up to that point.
We did. My dad started racing in 1967 at Antioch Speedway. Ran sportsmen's, stock cars, then got into late models, and then late models got outpriced for him for his budget. Didn't have the backing that a lot of people have now, what I have now, obviously. And, I'd be there as much as I could and supported him and watched him succeed and win big races. And he won the 1969 state championship. And that's kind of what we were shooting for this year, but it just, the price for fuel right now and getting into the tracks and, the pay we get back if we even finish top 5, it's not horrible, but it's not great. So you got to take the good with the bad. And that's what we did. And we that was our decision, just to race when we want to and go to races that we want to go have fun at.
And which season, what year was it when you started getting things going for your racing career? And how did that kind of come up? Was it your dad approaching you or you approaching your dad?
Kind of both. It was 1994. My dad was running the Grand American Modifieds.
Okay.
And he told me, he goes, you want to race? I said, I'd love to. And he goes, well, let's build a new car. So my uncle Al Artero built me a car. It was I guess it was a Flexi Flyer, and it was the biggest, heaviest, most safest car you could probably ever drive. And I learned, and I wasn't making main events. I was running B mains, finishing 6th, 7th, 8th. And 95 was my first full year running. We did okay. Same thing, B mains. 96 B mains, made some mains here and there. 97, same thing. 98, we got hooked up with Jimmy Reed and Bart Reed, and we ended up with a Cobra chassis. And man, next thing you know, I used to run 76 JR. Mm-hmm. And my dad said, as soon as you win a main event, he goes, I'll pull the JR off the car, and then you'll be straight up 76. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And so we ended up winning. My first main I won in racing was in July of 98. We won at Antioch Speedway, and my dad pulled the JR off the car, and it's kind of been history ever since. I ran until 2002, went through some stuff went through personal stuff in life and got over that and got back into racing in 2013 from Beverly and Chet Niss. They had a car sitting there and they said, why don't you put this together? I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not racing no more. And my dad's like, dude, do it. Well, he goes, what else you got? The kids are in high school now. Let's go race and have fun. I was like, all right. So that's kind of where it all started again for me. And won a championship in 2015 in the limited late models. And then I lost my dad in 2015. And kept doing the late model stuff. And then we got a new car from Chet and Beverly Niss. Went out in 2018 and won a bunch of races. Ended up winning the Antioch track championship. And had the sport mod too. Was kind of running both of them. And then the late model's still in my shop right now. It's still complete. And we decided we're just going to run the sport mod. And then my son was running hobby stocks, and we both won one night and the same night. And that was probably the best thing ever racing, besides racing with my dad. And yeah, so now we're where we are right now.
That's super cool. That's really cool. That the story of your dad and the story of you and your son winning on the same night. You don't see that or hear that very often. And when you decide to get into, the division that you race now, the sport mods, how much of a change of you for your driving style, or was it easy to adapt to based off of all your experience in modifieds in previous seasons?
When I ran the modifieds back in the 90s and early 2000s, we had different tires, big monster motors, and it was different back then compared to what it is now. We got a crate motor now, which is what everybody's running. There's a few guys that are running the open motor. I think Fred Ryland's running one. I don't know. There's a couple other guys too that are on those. So it's preference basically, but the cars are still the same suspension. It comes down to setup and what you want to do with the setup and how you approach things.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Like the people think, oh man, they're just modifieds, and then even further, they're just sport mods. But these things are like evolving creatures. At like what worked 2 years ago is old hat. Like that's not even close to what would get you in the ballpark to be fast. And it's just incredible. Just and the stock cars too. Just how much changes in such a small amount of time.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the new cars now, I mean, I got a 2022 GRT, and you move a bar one hole and put a round in the front, take a round out of the back, and it's a whole different car. You got to be on top of your game. And if it wasn't for my sons and buddiness and chetness, I couldn't do it. I mean, my son Billy he's into that stuff, and he really likes it. And I'm 50 years old, and I just want to get in the car and drive it. I don't want to work on it. I don't want to set it up. And my son does that, and Buddy does that. And it's a fun deal. It's a fun deal for me watching these kids just do what they do, and it's pretty awesome.
Are you looking to find that adrenaline rush, but you can't because you're not at the racetrack? Well, check out the IMCA TV Replay subscription library to have access to thousands of hours of racing for just $24.99 a month. Relive all the moments of the Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals fueled by Casey's at Boone Speedway, the Harris Clash at Deer Creek Speedway in Spring Valley, Minnesota, the IMCA TV Winter Nationals at Cocopah Speedway in Somerton, Arizona, Florida's Clash on the Coast, and dozens of Speedway Motors IMCA weekly racing program racetracks from across the nation, as well as the IMCA TV Dirtcast podcast. Plus, 25% of that $24.99 monthly fee goes towards the Drivers Point Fund and is a great way to help out your local racers. In 2023, over $97,000 was paid out to IMCA drivers directly at over 50 racetracks across the country. Please note that live broadcasts are not part of the replay subscription. That's IMCA TV. IMCA TV, where America comes to watch racing. Well, you told me how you went from 76 Junior to just 76. What was the reason for the choice of 76? Was that your dad's number?
Yeah, my dad started running that. His first sponsor back in 1967, 67 or 68 was a Unical 76 gas station in San Francisco, in South City. And I think they gave him $500. And he told me, he goes, dude, I never got $500 from anybody for a race car. And sure. It was phenomenal. And that he got stuck with 76A for Antioch. Mm-hmm. And, I ran 76 Junior. Then before my dad passed away, I was just 76 straight up. Mm-hmm. And then after my dad passed away, I went to 76A to honor my dad. So I threw the A back on the car, and that's kind of what we do. So
$500 in late 60s money, right? Which is worth like a small fortune now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, back then, he was excited. I think he had two sponsors, that and a radiator company that was in Antioch.
Okay.
And, they did, him and Jerry Hetrick used to build motors in his garage, and they break a motor on a Saturday, and the following week, and they'd put another one together, and Jerry'd say, just grab some bearings off the floor, let's scuff them up and put them in the motor, it'll work. And it did. And nowadays, you could probably still get away with that, but just the technology has changed, and you need the best of the best, and you want to go out there and have fun and go fast.
Sure. And with that 76 in the 76 oil company, did he have like an orange body or like orange and blue kind of mix in there with his livery?
No, my dad had the first ever wrap on a race car.
Okay.
And it was wrapped in Naugahyde leather, and it was a purple skinny car Sportsman with a wing on top. It was a 57 Chevy front clip, front suspension, drag slicks for tires, open headers.
Holy smokes! A beast.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty cool, and I got a couple of pictures of it. I'll have to send them to you, but yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Well, I love hearing that era from stories like that from my dad or guys that grew up going to races with my dad. They'd race somewhere and something happened, right? They broke, a spindle or whatever. Then on their way to the next track, they'd swing by the junkyard, find something they were looking for, get it out of a wrecked car, put it on their race car. We don't see that. And if it happens, it's very rare. But that's a really cool element of, our forefathers back in the 60s, 70s, and even in the 80s.
Absolutely, 100%. We had a couple guys back in the day. Jerry Harless owned a wrecking yard in Oakley, and my dad was there with him all the time. They were buddies, and you don't see that much anymore. Now we got a guy that's in Antioch that works at a wrecking yard, and his name's Steve Perry. And if I got a problem with something, even if I need a motor for work or something, I'll call him and, hey, what can you do for me? He goes, give me an hour and I'll call you back. And Steve Perry is I think he's like the last of the old school guys that still get down and get busy and try to help somebody that's struggling but looking for parts or looking for pieces for something. And there's just not a lot of guys like that. Ron Brown's the same way. To give you the shirt off his back to get you back out there and race. And there's not a lot of people like that anymore.
Sure.
Tom Kleiman Sr., he's the same way. If he's got it and you need it, he's going to give it to you. And Trevor Kleiman's, Trevor's junk, the same way. That's what those guys do. And it's just, there's still some good people out there that will help you out and give you whatever you need to get you back on the track.
Most definitely. Well, Antioch, California is where you guys are from, East Bay / Delta region of California. For you and your family, when you're not dealing with anything racing related, is there any special stuff that you guys like to do in the local area? Do you like to travel and kind of get away from the Bay Area scene?
Yeah, absolutely. My girlfriend and I, we just got a house in Texas last March, and so I go back and forth to Texas. She's back out here right now. We go to Giants games. We do Sunday barbecues at the house. I'm a very family oriented guy, and I love the grandbabies, and we have a good time in life. And you only got one life to live, so you better live it to the fullest.
Sure. That's really cool. Me as people that are listening that know me, I'm a Giants fan. I don't hate the A's. I think what's going on is a little wild and crazy with relocation. I don't know how the Sacramento thing's going to work, because I was there a couple weeks ago, and I don't even know where they're going to park people. So
I'm a diehard Atlanta Braves fan, so
okay, all right.
I go to Giants games all the time when they play the Braves, and we'll just go to a Sunday game. We're actually going to the game this Sunday. Gonna go hang out with my son and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, and we're gonna have a good time this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, no, I remember my papa, my grandfather, huge Atlanta Braves fan. He's from the South, and they had those years, like I call them the Ted Turner years, where it was like America's team, because you could watch every single game on TBS, and Bobby Cox,
1:35 in the afternoon.
Yeah, Bobby Cox, it just had that incredible run of however many straight division titles, and just the lineup they had was just incredible.
Best pitching staff in baseball.
Yeah,
Tom Glavine, Steve Avery, Greg Maddox, and John Schmaltz.
Yeah,
how do you beat that trio? Those four guys? It was tough too, and they won a lot of pennants, but they only won one World Series. So
I know
they're still America's team, but yeah, that's how I like. That's how I started liking them.
Yeah.
I come home from school at 1:00 in the afternoon. They're on at 1:35, and I watched them, and I love the Atlanta Braves. And
sure. For people that have never been in that area, maybe they're going to go to race at Antioch. Antioch it's not too far from the city of San Francisco, or it's even closer to Oakland. But for people that have never been there, what are some cool places maybe in the Oakley, Brentwood, Pittsburgh area of that part of the state might want to do and visit and see?
Well, I got two places for great food. The first one is Maxwell House. Just a great homely atmosphere, great people in there, great food, cheap food, good drinks. And we go there on Wednesday nights. And then Orwood Resort out on the water. You can laugh at people trying to launch their boats and can't back it in straight. And it's good time. Same thing, good food, steak and lobster, good drinks. Those are two of the icons out here, and where I'm at in my area.
Okay. Yeah. It's a unique area, and where other places it might be kind of, well, like for instance, in the city, right? No one owns an air conditioner in San Francisco. It gets that cold year round and stuff. But like in Antioch, man, it can get sweltering hot sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's 75 right now. at 7:00 at night. So it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been great to know you over the years, and even better to get to know you a lot better in this interview, Mark. I know that you've got a lot of great people that help you out, sponsors, lending hands. Obviously, we talked about that, and I just, before we close this up, like to give you the platform to thank those individuals again, and thank all your wonderful sponsors that is allowing you to go out and race.
Absolutely. I tell everybody all the time, you can't do it by yourself. And the people that I have that help me are just phenomenal and just solid people from besides the racetrack. I mean, I'm friends with them just on a friendly basis. We go to dinner, we have a good time. My first one, I'll name my sponsors off. I mean, the first one is All Spec Sheet Metal, Todd Gomez. I mean, the guy will do anything for you. I mean, all the sponsors I have will do anything for me. Not just me, but other people in the racing community. I got Todd Gomez. I got Winning Attitude Motorsports, Sabrina's Pizza, Smog Guys, Polar Bear Ice Cream, HRT Shocks, Bobby Hogue. I mean, he's got a couple that are on the way to him right now. He hasn't even got them yet, but he's got those. R&J Landscaping, Randy Miller, just stand-up guys, and they're good people, good general people. Rebello Racing, where I work at, Dave Rebello, Brian Rebello, they're solid people. MB Construction, Matt Bauer, he helps me out with tires, wheels, whatever I need. Montalvo Motorsports, him and his girlfriend Melissa they've been good to me. Race Print, all my T-shirts and my sweatshirts that I have, they printed them up for me. Phenomenal. Mac Tools, Brian Mortensen. I see him every Wednesday. He's just a solid guy. I got Aerial Control, KW Danville Homes, Katie Torres, Trevor's Junk, Transmissions by Tom, Josh Combs at 1-2 Wraps. I could not do it without all I hope I'm not forgetting nobody. No, I already got him. So I'm thinking through my head right now.
Yeah.
They're solid people, and I'm grateful. Delta Transmission, geez, Chet and Beverly, they got me back into the whole racing game. Delta Transmission, Delta Drivelines, great people. GRT by 19K, Buddy Niss. I couldn't do it without all these guys. Rob at Z-Car Garage in San Jose. But it's the sponsors are all good, but it's my daily people that help me. My son Billy, my son Nicholas, my son Brody, my buddy Eric. I mean, I can call them anytime, and they're there with whatever I need. My mom, my girlfriend Robin, my sister Teresa. They're just all. If I need something, for sandwiches or drinks or what have you, they make us comfortable at the racetrack. They know what we're doing. They make food for us, drinks, everything, and they make it easier for me and for the guys that are helping me on the car.
That's totally awesome. And I'm glad that you brought up that you have T-shirts and sweatshirts for folks that may want to snag one of those. Is that a deal where they just see it at the track, or do you guys do online orders through like a web page or social media page?
Yeah, they can hit me up on Facebook. I'm on Facebook all the time. So I posted a few times. I got from mediums to 3Xs, T-shirts and hoodies. If anybody's looking for shirts, check out raceprint.com. They're stellar. I mean, I put my order in. I had shirts in 4 weeks, and they got them to me right now. And pretty solid group of guys over there.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll be crossing paths with each other a lot this season and see some of the specials that they got having up in my neck of the woods. But it's been great catching up with you, Mark.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, race fans, that does it for this interview. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you continue to enjoy these upcoming interviews. We appreciate it if you would like and subscribe wherever you're listening, whether it's on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever it's at. Give us a like and give us a subscription so that we can deliver more of these great interviews to you for your listening pleasure. In the meantime, wherever we're at, wherever you're listening, we hope you have a great rest of your day and a pleasant evening, and we will see you soon here at Highside Racing Promotions. Before we let everybody go, here's the upcoming schedule on IMCA TV of live pay-per-view events. County Fair Speedway going to be the place to be on Monday the 20th, Tuesday the 21st, and Wednesday the 22nd for the 250K Challenge. Also on Wednesday night, it'll be the kickoff for the All-Star Shootout at Southern Oklahoma Speedway in Ardmore. Thursday, May 23rd, will feature Kossuth County Speedway in Algona, Iowa. All-Star Shootout action at Grayson County Speedway in Bells, Texas. And Park Jefferson International Speedway in Jefferson, South Dakota. A full card of action on May 24th will feature Davenport Speedway in Iowa, Mandan, North Dakota's Dakota Speedway, Beatrice Speedway in Nebraska, All-Star Shootout action at Heart of Texas Speedway in Waco, Texas, Black Hills Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota. Lots of action on May 25th, Saturday night, including Crystal Motor Speedway in Michigan. Tons of action from the state of Iowa with Boone Speedway, Maquoketa Speedway, and Independence Motor Speedway. Eagle Raceway in Nebraska on the card, as well as Worthington Speedway in Minnesota, Harlan, Iowa's Shelby County Speedway, Williston Basin Speedway in North Dakota, and Heart of Texas Speedway for another round of the All-Star Shootout in Waco, Texas. Sunday will see the return of action on May 26th at Crystal Motor Speedway in Michigan, Benton County Speedway in Benton, Iowa, also in Iowa, Dubuque Fairground Speedway, Nodak Speedway in Minot, North Dakota, Stewart International Speedway in Iowa. And on Monday, May 27th, 2 races scheduled on the card for IMCA TV, Nodak Speedway in Minot and Stewart International Speedway in Iowa.